right, welcome to math today. We are still working on fractions. We have worked on finding equivalent fractions, and now we're working on comparing fractions. So, main thing about comparing fractions, you don't have to write with me yet. If I wrote this on the board, can I compare those without doing a whole lot of work?
Yeah.
Okay, Quentin, you give me a thumbs up. Why is it easy to compare these without doing any work?
Because you're only going to know because the top number is going to be the larger part, and then you'll know.
Okay, so what about the bottom though? Eric?
If like the other one is bigger, if the other bottom number is bigger, the other one is more.
Okay. But what I'm trying to get to, can I compare numbers just by looking at them if the denominators are different?
Yes. No.
No. Okay, if that was a 5 down here, I couldn't just take a look. But 1/4 and 3/4, I can just look. Okay, which numerator is larger? Josiah?
3.
So this fraction's bigger. Okay, now we're going to practice one like we did yesterday. So when I write, you write with me. Sometimes our denominators are not the same, and you can't just look and compare. You have to do some work. So let's start with, let's do 1/3 and 2/6. Write that down for me. 1/3 and 2/6. I'm going to wait till I see everybody doing it. I shouldn't have to ask you any more than one time. You're fine. All right, Alex and Angie, go ahead. Bring your headphones and your Chromebook.
Headphones and meet me in the art room.
And we will go over this more later, okay? All right, so what fraction do you think I need to change to make my denominators match? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hayden, what do you think?
The 1/3.
Okay, I usually want to pick my littler one to turn it into my bigger one. So, 1/3 we need to say times something over something equals something over 6. So I'll give you a minute to write that down. That is our first step of solving. All right, if you haven't written that yet, you're slowing us down. Keep up.
I'm done.
Once I have my 6 here, I can fill this in. What digit has to go here? Lamb? 3 times what is 6?
2.
2. All right, Cadence, if I put a 2 in the bottom, what has to go on the top? A 2.
And it's
So 1 times 2 is 2. All right, now we can compare them, right? So 2/6 and 1/3, which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? What's the deal, Hudson?
2/6. They're equal.
They're equal. Nice job. All right, let's do one more like that, okay? So if you're not quite getting this, make sure you are listening and paying attention. All right, the last one like this. We will do 5/8 and 3/4. 5/8 and 3/4. I'm waiting for everyone to write that down. As soon as I start writing, you should be writing with me. All right. So my denominators aren't the same. I need to find a common denominator. Remember, that just means I need to make them the same. So which fraction do you think we should change? 5/8 or 3/4? Abby?
3/4.
3/4. So set it up. Write it with me right now. 3/4 times something over something equals something over 8. That way our denominators will match.
I'm done.
Looks good. Some of you are finishing already. Okay, someone who hasn't answered a question today, what do we know has to go here? Emma?
2.
2. And then Emma, what goes on the top?
2.
2. All right, 3 times 2 is 6. Now I can compare 5/8 and 3/4, which is the same as 6/8. I oftentimes will write that right here so I don't forget. Now I can compare. So, my alligator eats which side? Abby?
3/4.
Yep. All right. Any questions so far on this? This is all what we just did yesterday. Eric?
I kind of got marker on me.
We'll take care of it later, okay? We have a very short lesson today because Mrs. Heckerman will be here soon. All right. The next thing is brand new. So I need everyone, do what you got to do to make your focus on me, okay? Everybody needs to pay attention. We are going to write down two fractions, and then I just want you to look and see what makes this different, okay? So let's try this. 3/4 and
500.
2/5. Write that down and then just think quietly. What makes this different? 3/4 and 2/5. The denominators aren't the same, so we know we have to change them. But changing them is not going to work the same as we did before. Quentin, what have you noticed?
That the numerator is also different, so you might have to take the 5 and turn it into a 4. So this one can be a 3.
Okay, so what you're saying is right. We need to change one of our denominators to make them match, right? Why is that hard? Zoe?
Because
Can I multiply 4 by anything to get a 5? Or the other way around? No. So our plan won't work, okay? There is a really easy way to do this. This is the trick. Eyeballs up here. Everyone in the back row, eyeballs up here. Here's how you do this. If you can't make a common denominator the way we've been doing it, this is all you have to do. Instead of setting up 1 times something over something equals something over something, do it for both. Okay, so everyone do that first. That's step 1. Because we have to change both of our fractions when this is the case. But it's really easy once you know how to do it. All right, so we have to figure out what denominator they can both share. Here's how you do it. Multiply your denominators together. That's your new denominator. Okay, so let me show you. What is 4 times 5? Hudson?
20.
20. Let's put 20 as our denominator for both fractions. Okay, now let's see what happens here. 5 times what would be 20? Emma?
4.
4. Nice job. And we all know that we have to also put that in the numerator. It's always the same. So 2 times 4 is 8. All right. So 2/5 and 8/20 are equivalent. We can do the same thing at the top. In this example, 4 times what would give us 20? Madeline?
5.
5. We know we've also got to put that in the numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. Now, could you compare these two fractions?
Yeah.
Way easier, right? Okay, so I've got 15/20 and 8/20. Which one's larger? Zoe? 15/20.
I go like
Okay, so to review really fast, when your denominators are like this, and I can't turn one into the other, you just multiply them together, and that becomes your new denominator for both numbers. So we're going to do several of these to practice. Josiah?
my markers ran out.
I'll get you a new one. All right, go ahead, erase your board. Get ready to write your second example. All right. Let's try this one. Let's do 7/8 and
12. 6/12.
4/5.
Oh.
Okay, I'm doing this one because sometimes people still want to just think it through in their brain. And they'll go, well, that's one away from a whole thing. That's one away from a whole thing. They're the same. Do you think that's necessarily true?
No.
We have to check, okay? We can't just guess. Mathematicians don't just guess. What's my first step? What did I write out first last time? Josiah?
The thing that we would usually do, but...
The times something over something times something. Yep.
Yeah.
For both numbers. So go ahead and write it all out. This is how you show your work for this and stay organized. I'll give you a minute to write all that down. If you've already got that done, I want you to start thinking, how did we find our common denominator? What do we do in this situation? All right, because I cannot multiply 5 by anything to get an 8 or my 8 to get a 5. So when this happens, Hayden, what do we have to do?
8 times 5?
8 times 5, okay? We take both of our denominators, we multiply them together. What is 8 times 5? Josiah?
40.
40. So 40 is your new denominator for both fractions. Okay? And then from here, it's exactly the same as yesterday. So, what makes this true? 5 times what is 40? Cadence? 8. Nice job. So we have to also put an 8 on the top. 4 times 8 is?
4.
Chloe?
32.
32.
Yeah.
All right. Now notice in the top, you're not always going to get the same answer. So just be careful what you're doing. Just because we put an 8 here, we're not going to put an 8 here. 8 times what is 40? This is the reverse, right? Instead of 5 times 8, now it's 8 times, Abby?
5.
5. And then we'll put our 5 in our numerator. 7 times 5 is? Josiah?
7 times 5 is 35.
35. All right. So that was just a really quick review, okay? Does that help a lot of you? There was one problem on our homework last night that was like that, right? I'm sure some of you ran into that and thought, what? So, thanks for listening. Those of you at home, keep working hard. We're going to keep doing comparing fractions a lot this week. See you soon.
Peace out. Peace out.